Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are breaking down the entire journey for teachers overseas who are dreaming of working in New Zealand. We're going to take what looks like a really complex process and turn it into a simple, step-by-step guide you can actually follow. So, you're thinking about teaching in New Zealand. That is a fantastic idea, especially right now. But let's be totally honest for a second. The whole process can feel, well, pretty overwhelming. You're juggling multiple agencies, facing a mountain of paperwork, and it's really hard to figure out where you should even begin. That's exactly what we're going to tackle in this explainer. We're going to transform all that complexity into a super clear step-by-step roadmap. We'll be using the official requirements, plus some really valuable real-world advice from teachers who have actually been through it all. Okay, let's dive right in. Here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the opportunity itself. Then, we'll walk through the 4 huge stages of the process: getting your qualifications recognized, getting registered, finding that job, and then finally, sorting out the visa and your arrival. So, first things first, let's set the scene a little bit. Why is New Zealand such a hot destination for teachers right this minute? Well, there are 4 massive reasons. 1, there is a serious demand for teachers all over the country. 2, the lifestyle is just incredible. But here are the real kickers. The government has recently created much clearer, faster pathways to residency for teachers, and on top of all that, they're offering some serious financial support to help you get there. And I'm not kidding about the financial support. You could be eligible for an overseas relocation grant from the Ministry of Education for up to 10,000 New Zealand dollars. I mean, that's a huge help when you think about all the initial costs of moving. Now, you do need to be patient. The whole process, from start to finish, usually takes about 6 months. The good news is, the government has broken it down into 4 really clear and manageable stages. And here it is. This is the official 4-step journey, straight from the Ministry of Education. We're going to use this as our guide, but we're also going to break down that crucial finding a job stage all on its own to give you the complete picture. So, let's get right into it. The absolute foundation of your entire application is getting your qualifications officially recognized by the New Zealand Qualifications Authority, or NCQA. This is done through a process called an International Qualification Assessment, or an IQA. For pretty much every single overseas trained teacher, this is the first thing you have to do. It's non-negotiable. It's how you prove your degree is just as good as a New Zealand one. And you'll want to be ready for the cost. The fee for this specific teaching IQA is currently 746 New Zealand dollars. Think of it as the first big investment you'll need to make in this journey. Now, getting this right really just comes down to good prep. First up, make sure your documents are high-quality, colored scans of the originals. Here's a great tip. Submit all of your degrees, your bachelor's, your master's, all of it at the same time. The teaching IQA actually lets you include up to 2 extra qualifications for free. And be patient. It can take up to 3 months to get your result back. Okay, so your qualifications have been assessed and you've got that shiny IQA report in your hands. What's next? The next crucial step is getting registered with the Teaching Council of Aotearoa, New Zealand. This is the step that makes you legally able to teach. The Teaching Council has a super clear checklist. You're going to need your IQA report, you'll need to give consent for a New Zealand police check, and you'll have to get police clearances from every single country you've lived in for more than a year in the last decade. On top of that, you'll need to prove your English is up to scratch, which usually means an IELTS score of 7 across all bands. Now, here is a golden piece of advice from teachers who have actually done this. You have to get your registration done before you start applying for jobs. Without it, schools might just see you as a bit of a risk, and as one person put it, you could end up in the too hard basket. So, with your IQA and teacher registration all sorted, it is finally time for the job hunt. And you know what? This is where a really tailored, thoughtful approach can make all the difference in the world. You cannot just send out a generic CV. It won't work. The applicants who get hired are the ones who research each school's specific values. They show they understand New Zealand's cultural context, maybe by mentioning the Treaty of Waitangi. And they're proactive, offering a video call to make themselves seem like a real person, not just an unknown from overseas. Once you get that all-important job offer, you can finally apply for your visa through Immigration New Zealand. That offer is basically the key that unlocks several pathways, including the straight-to-residence visa, which was specifically designed to help with the teacher shortage. All right, you've made it to the final stretch. You landed the job, you secured the visa, and you're about to arrive in New Zealand. So, what happens next? There are a few final but really important things to do. You have to request a salary assessment to make sure you're paid correctly right from the start. This is also when you apply for that relocation grant. And crucially, you'll need to really engage with the local curriculum and cultural practices, like tikanga Māori, the customs and traditions that are woven right into the New Zealand school day. And look, it is so important to go into this with your eyes wide open. Teachers who are on the ground there report that adapting to the classroom culture can be a real challenge. Student behavior and management styles might be quite different from what you're used to. There's often a much bigger emphasis on relationship-based learning, and that can be a huge part of the transition. So, if we were to summarize this entire journey into 4 key takeaways, here they are. 1. Get the bureaucracy, your IQA and registration done first. It is non-negotiable. 2. Personalize every single job application you send. 3. Prepare yourself for the cultural adaptation that's required in a New Zealand classroom. And 4. Don't forget that financial support is there for a reason, so make sure you apply for it. It's a demanding journey, there's no doubt about it. But the biggest challenge might not even be the paperwork. It's being ready to adapt to a whole new classroom culture. So the real question isn't just, can you get there? But are you ready for what you'll find when you do?